Hello, welcome to Oz Talk.
Hi, everybody.
Tori, I am buzzing with excitement. It's the most Ozified morning. It's such a great week we're having here in the land of Oz, in the world of Oz fandom, and what with the Wicked movie giving us such great little drops between the merch and the posters, and now a new trailer, the official trailer number 2 dropping just this morning.
Yes, the official second full-length trailer, which I assume will be our last full-length trailer because we only have 78 days to go until part 1 premieres in movie theaters on November 22nd.
It's so true. And I mean, we might get another one yet, but yeah, this is the one that I'm sure we're going to start seeing in theaters as previews and trailers prior to other films that you're going to see. And I am just so thrilled by it. It's just, I mean, let's take a look at it. But before we do, first, yesterday we got this little special look at character posters featuring Elphaba, Glinda, Fiyero and his horse, Madame Morrible, the wizard. We've got Nessarose, Bach, Dr. Dillamond, Fanny and Shen Shen. And how beautiful are these?
Stunning as a set, stunning individually. I think if I had to pick favorites, Madame Morrible's, Michelle Yeoh stands out to me. That one has so many little hints in it, really important ones to the story. And I love how they positioned Ethan Slater on a stack of books to show that he's shorter than the rest of the cast because he's supposed to, of course, be playing a munchkin. Just like all these little details that they hide in these beautiful graphics. I just love these.
I love them too. I'd say that my favorites would be between Fiyero and that horse, just how, you know, the light on him, getting to see Shiz, getting to see the blue color from, you know, Munchkin Country worked in within his outfit. And also, I love Dr. Dillamond because we get to really stare at him here and see more of his classroom and the chalkboard behind him and his costuming. And he looks so much like the illustration from the original Gregory Maguire novel. And, you know, it's interesting how they can take a character that was sometimes not sidelined, but not the most beloved on stage. Certainly wonderful, but to see that he can be absolutely like a possible scene stealer and a real somebody to fall in love with on the cinema screen.
Well, it's much more possible to create a more well-rounded character on film. You know, when we're sitting in the audience at the Gershwin Theater or at one of the theaters where it's on tour and you're far away and all you can see is a man standing upright in a very obvious prosthetic costume. You know, I think that it can be difficult to suspend your disbelief, but they're going to be interacting with a real talking goat with the voice of the one and only Peter Dinklage. And you don't waste a good Dinklage. You know what I mean?
You certainly don't.
You don't waste it. So I'm glad that we're going to see more of him. I'm glad that he looks so much like the book character. And can we talk about his vest? Because I love his vest.
I love all the costumes. I mean, you know, never before have I wanted to actually just like jump into a film. But there was a very early featurette. I think one of the first ones that came out where you saw, you know, director John M. Chu talking about how everything is so tangible. Not only that they actually built these environments and the sets, but all of the props, all of the costumes, all of the reality in this fantasy is coming alive for us. So why don't we take a look right now at trailer number 2? We'll watch it through first before we break it down.
I'll try not to cry this time.
Fellow Ozians, the Wicked Witch of the West is dead. Let me tell you the whole story. Our paths did cross. At school. Oh, you're green.
I am.
Together we're unlimited. She had her secrets.
Absolutely remarkable.
There's no fight we cannot win. Just you and I, defying gravity.
Why is it you're always causing some sort of commotion?
I don't cause commotions, I am one. Some of us are just different.
Listen to me. You can do anything.
I know.
All aboard the Emerald City!
Just follow the road. It's gonna lead you right to me. The best way to bring folks together is to give them a real good enemy.
This wicked witch.
Don't be afraid. It's the wizard who should be afraid of me.
No wizard that there is or was is ever gonna bring me
Oh, it
I
got
know.
me again.
I know. I
tried really hard.
I mean, for me, this one, first of all, visually, and then what we're hearing in audio. Visually, I'm just going to say it. You know, we've lived our entire lives and generation after generation with such iconography, such burned within the psyche of culture for The Wizard of Oz and what was created by MGM in the classic film. And now I'm seeing something I like even better. I didn't think it was possible because in the 85 years since that film has come out, there have been a lot of adaptations. There have been a lot of different looks, illustrations, and the rest of it of the Emerald City, of the Yellow Brick Road, of Munchkin Land, of these characters. And this one has raised the bar so high, you can't have predicted it. And this all goes as a compliment to the production designer, the director, the costume designer, the colorist. Every single detail, every single element in the visuals is just so amazing. Please build a theme park, right?
I mean, I would love to immerse myself in this world. And you're right. I mean, it's just for the first time, perhaps in 85 years, Oz feels so close. Oz feels so tangible and real. And it's not that we haven't seen Oz before. People compared the imagery in this a lot to Oz the Great and Powerful because I think it's the most recent in people's minds, which was an entirely CGI created Oz. And here we have tangibly built practical effects right in the camera. They're standing in Shiz University. They're standing in the Emerald City. When the train conductor calls all aboard for the Emerald City, they're boarding a real train. It's just, there is no substitute for that kind of dedication. And while, we've heard a lot like, I want it grounded in realism. They're grounding the world in realism so that the world feels real, but they are not going to skimp on fantasy, on magic, on all the things that a lot of adaptations are missing today when they try too hard to push it into the real world, which even the 1939 film is guilty of doing. So,
right. Yeah,
wow.
Just absolutely magnificent. I mean, it just delivers on every level. And again, we still don't know who Keala Settle as Miss Cottle is going to be. There's still so much left to discover that they are just teasing the right amount. I mean, the vocals are absolutely insane. Let's talk about what we're hearing here. I mean, knowing that they performed much of the vocals live on set and hearing the blend for the first time of Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo together during Defying Gravity a little bit in this trailer, and also the stylistic choices. I don't even know if Cynthia Erivo is making choices so much as her talent is so great that just whatever she comes up with in the moment as she's embodying the character of Elphaba is so right that she just is all of that award-worthy, amazing, once and not even a generation, once in all of history kind of talent, you know?
I've said it from the beginning. I smell an EGOT. I feel like if not for this part, for the next part, I think Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande could very easily earn Oscar nominations, if not wins. I think certainly they'll win awards for the soundtrack. The vocals on this, you know, people don't realize how hard a song Defying Gravity is for singers because it requires such a vast variety of styles. You need to be able to sing legit musical theater. You need to be able to belt. And she's doing that live in a harness, in a corset, upside down, according to Ariana Grande. But, you know, they described early in the process, they called it worming, the way that their vocals come together. They said that they just fit, even though they're very different vocalists. They just, their voices just blended naturally. And this is the kind of chemistry you cannot buy. It's kismet.
Yeah, I feel like this film could spawn the creation of a new category at the next Olympics for singing while doing acrobat. You know, acrobatics.
They can replace breakdancing with that.
And so yes, give Cynthia the Oscar, but also give her an Olympic medal, gold medal for her performance in this as well. I mean, she just throw every award, the Golden Globe, the Critics' Choice Award. Let's give her an Emmy for when it eventually makes its way to streaming on television. Why not?
She just automatically win all of the awards.
Oh, yes, that's
Ariana Grande. So should John Chu.
Yes, all of them. It's amazing, and we haven't even seen what everybody else is going to be delivering more. But and these are just from the taste. One other thing in the audio that I heard immediately that freaked me out in the most delightful way, because you know some of the most accessible moments on the stage adaptation of Wicked on Broadway are when they pepper in things that are reminiscent of The Wizard of Oz. For example, what's in the punch?
Lemons and melons and pears.
Oh my, you know, and it's a laugh because we know what that's evocative of. We also have, you know, moments like, oh, well, there's no place like home, that Elphaba says to Nessa Rose at one point, you know. But in the score for Wicked, I know Stephen Schwartz, who sat down with me at the piano once and exclusively revealed in my upcoming documentary, Song of the Century, which, Tori, I'm thrilled you are appearing in.
Excited.
He revealed that he hid 7 songs from The Wizard of Oz within the score for Wicked. One he didn't even know about until it was called out after him. That's how influenced he was, in his words, quote, the genius of Harold Arlen and Yip Harburg. And I think as a teaser before my documentary, Oz the Great, before Song of the Century documentary comes out, which honors Harold Arlen and Yip Harburg and their creation of Over the Rainbow. But Wicked's all over it. I mean, we've got Ariana Grande in it. We've got Kristen Chenoweth in it. It's produced by Aaron Harburg, the great-grandson of Yip Harburg, the lyricist of Over the Rainbow and the songs of The Wizard of Oz. And this is one theme that Stephen Schwartz did purposely use in Wicked. It is in the stage version for those of us who have caught it. And now they've already used it. He's used it once again in this trailer for the film, which means it will be in the film as well. Check it out here and how brilliantly it plays off of the original.
This Wicked Witch.
I mean, did you hear it? Listen.
Oh, I heard it. You know, I was too busy crying the first time to hear it, but then everyone in the comments started going, did we just hear the Wicked Witch of the West Miss Gulch theme? Did we just, I'm sorry. And I was like, let's roll that beautiful theme footage one more time. I gotta go back.
One more time.
This Wicked Witch.
Brilliant. I mean, it gives me the chills. And then there's also this shot. Did you notice this?
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's just, again, and it's something that we don't have in the stage version, but something that you can do on screen, and just so brilliant to do that, because there was no obligation to do something like this. But when you do this, and even, just, and you're giving Miss Gulch on the bike, and you're giving Toto in the basket with the lion cub here, it just is enough of a wink and a nod, paying homage in such a smart way that really is service to fans. It's an Easter egg.
But what I want to know is, how did they get away with it? Because Universal does not own the rights to The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, but that's, an animal in a basket. How do you, that, and the score, the way they got away with it is, legally you can use 7 notes of a previously published work. I think you can't use an 8th note. Like, otherwise you'd have to sample and pay rights, right? So if you take the, 7 notes, that is allowed,
That
so
is exactly 7 notes, by the way. Ba-da, ba-da, ba-da-da.
Right, exactly. And he changes in the stage version. He does it a little bit differently. He also hides If I Only Had a Brain. He hides something from Optimistic Voices. He hides Over the Rainbow, and all of this. I'm gonna share this soon too. But it's so great to find that, and you change the rhythm. The rhythm is a little bit slower in the Wicked trailer than it is in the Wizard of Oz score, and the key is also, maybe it's a little bit changed a little, so it's evocative enough for those who recognize it, and pay off and delight you in all the proper ways. So I am just that, for those of us that are the all things Oz fans, to see that marriage and that bridge and the melding and the blending of all of these great Oz things is just so rewarding.
It is, and it's it's indicative of the care that was taken, because they could have just copy pasted what was on stage. They could have just slapped it on the screen and said, we're going to make a cool billion and we'll sell all the merch, and they could have just done that. But instead they've employed artistic integrity. They've really taken the time and care to develop a version of Wicked that is its own entity, while also paying homage to the 1939 film, to the stage musical, to Gregory Maguire, to L. Frank Baum.
Yes.
All of that combined, and all of the, and I have to give credit to John Chu, because he not only brought together this vision of Wicked, this 2-part vision of Wicked, but he also established a set where everyone mattered, where everyone was safe. Everyone who's spoken out thus far about what it was like on that set said that everyone felt like number 1 on the call sheet.
I love that. And the representation that we're going to see in the casting of this film, and how universal it is for all of us. The pictures. It's so great. Speaking of universal, the first trailer we saw emerald green. Now we're seeing pink goes well with green.
It does.
Yes,
does.
it
I
does.
love it.
So cool. I mean, this, I feel like I would frame this and hang this up on the wall. That's artwork to me, just because it's the Wicked Universal pictures,
It's lovely. I'm glad that they are, again, they're tailoring this marketing to Oz fans in every which way.
Right. Let's now go through and break it down a little bit more succinctly as we watch together again, and we will pause along the way.
Well, first of all, do you hear the clock?
That's the clock. Yeah. We know that was another one. Right away, we're getting the ticking, which again is setting the stage for the time dragon clock. And seeing the gears on the train as the wheels, seeing the gears turning in the library, it's all coming together. Before Dorothy. Now, in the marketing for the stage production, they used the tagline, so much happened before Dorothy dropped in, right? Very clever. And so again, going with that, and then from here, going to see the magical silver shoes, the jeweled shoes in this case, and then also seeing Dorothy from behind on the Yellow Brick Road. It just, again, it's tying it all together so seamlessly.
And, and the way that they frame the jeweled shoes in a ruby red case cannot possibly be coincidental.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it is like sequiny, isn't it? Sparkly.
Very. I mean, I don't think there's any mistaking what that's.
No. Yeah, that is so brilliant. I didn't catch that before, but wow. This
Okay.
is fun. Right. What is that? That's go for it.
She opens her case, which it seems to be a cosmetic case, and something pops up. Now I'm assuming she's wearing her popular outfit, so this must be for the makeover scene.
Could be, yeah. And yeah, I wonder what it was. It actually made me think of like the quaffle from Quidditch. You know,
Made me think that too, but I was like, no, wrong.
yeah. We don't need to cross too many intellectual properties here, but I'm very excited for whatever Ozian magic she has in store for herself there.
Don't let her get away!
This is so powerful, right?
Powerful, and look at the face of this effigy. It's so Margaret Hamilton, the nose, the chin, and of course Cynthia Erivo does not look like this. So again, this brings us back to the theme of propaganda and political manipulation, which is going to be such a strong theme in this film.
Well, but also I think it heightens the intensity of the political message here. One of the political messages that isn't even as explored on stage as much, because we don't see a burning effigy on stage in Wicked. And in this, when we look at the shameful history of America with racism, we know that this was something that the KKK did. And so seeing it here to parallel where Elphaba is cast by a Black British actress, it is very, very poignant, significant, and making a statement that yes, we can read you. This is why I think Wicked in part is so. Let's just discuss this for a moment. Why I think Wicked, like The Wizard of Oz, has such staying power. Why the book by Gregory Maguire remains so successful. Why the show is running 20 years and counting. We've talked as Oz fans for so long that L. Frank Baum wrote 14 Oz books, and we see the first one adapted over and over again. He has a wealth of other characters and storylines. Why aren't those adapted? There's something about that first book and Dorothy's journey that has a universal message that speaks across generations and cultures. In one way. Now, Wicked, in a very different way with a very different theme, does that in the most basic sense between the friendship between the two women, but also there are so many more themes. There's so much more depth to Wicked than there is in The Wizard of Oz that can speak to different people at different times. Not everyone is going to look at the burning Elphaba and see a political theme there, as others will feel it personally or historically. And then also the love triangle with Fiyero and Galinda, the animal rights activism, the notion of the wizard saying, you got to bring people together by giving them a really good enemy. We see that playing together in real time in politics today in this country and in other countries. And yet the overall theme of what Wicked is about, between friendship and not judging a book by its cover, that is what is primed Wicked to have the staying power across centuries the way that The Wizard of Oz has proven to. Do you agree?
I do. And, not to get political, but in this very moment that we sit in, and the fact that this film is coming out on the heels of a presidential election in the United States that's very polarizing, these are themes that are going to hit very close to home. And, here you have a charismatic leader, a good-looking guy who's telling the people everything they want to hear and unifying them by pitting them against the other, the concept of, being the other. And it's frightening because it works, and it's worked throughout history. And this is a tale as old as time, and it will happen again and again and again for all of human history, because this is human nature. But you're right. The theme remains consistent. And it remains relevant 21 years later. The only thing that changes is who is the other.
Right, exactly. And who shouts the loudest. So when Morrible and Wizard have that microphone, they have the power, right? So, all right.
Let me tell you the
We're gonna go back to the trailer. We just went from the burning image to this
whole story. Our paths did cross at school.
Getting to sorry, let's get Ari a shot with her eyes open there when I pause that. She's so gorgeous. I mean, honestly, any frame you can pause on almost anyone in this cast, and they look so gorgeous. But I love this expression of her seeing Shiz, and we're seeing Shiz for the first time at another angle as she's seeing it from her perspective. But the line that she delivers there, isn't it fun hearing how her delivery compares to how ingrained it is from the stage version?
It is. It's wistful. It's longing. And then coupled with this image of her gasping at seeing Shiz. And what makes it even better is we know she's actually seeing Shiz. It's not a blue screen. It's there.
The real set, yeah. But I just think about it. I mean, you can imagine you're a performer. I grew up doing some theater, and you know, when you hear it one way, it was easy when we were kids. If we're doing a musical at school of a show or a movie that exists, you can copy what you've heard before, right? And
poor Glinda in real life on stage is worrying about her quick change that she's about to have to do in 0.2 seconds.
That's true. That's true.
She's got a lot on her mind.
I'm just delighting in that how close Ariana Grande and Kristen Chenoweth are in reality as friends, and that Ariana has, you know, to her credit as a performer and to John M. Chu as a director, to be able to make this role her own, you know, as does Cynthia Erivo and everyone else. It's just, it's such a feat in of itself. So let's take a look now at Shiz. Look at that. I'm not a swimmer. I'd swim to it.
Honestly, and I remember those behind the scenes aerial shots that were apparently captured by people on hang gliders with GoPro cameras attached to their feet. Of people these boats were real. They actually came up on a body of water up to this set. This is all practically done. They could have done this on blue screen, but they chose not to. Again, this care and this detail is everything you need to know about the product we're going to receive.
Exactly.
Oh, you're green. I am.
Together.
Okay. The little smirk.
Yeah, the little smirk. That is such character work by Cynthia, because it's showing that for someone who was bullied, she's not, she hasn't lost her self-esteem, that she knows who she is, and she has that confidence and that fire within her, which is so amazing.
She projects confidence.
Yes.
But as Glinda comes to find out, it is a mask for the pain underneath. Exactly. And we see that we see that mask fall away at the Ozdust Ballroom. And we've seen that in some of the previews leading up to this.
It's true. The humanity of it all. And I just want to say, I know we're going to talk about merch after we break down the trailer, but if we don't get a replica of her pinky ring, of Elphaba's pinky ring, I'm going to write to Mr. Universal or Mr. Noble Collection or whoever I have to.
Yeah, I'd like a pinky ring. Yeah. Nessa Rose is wearing a poppy necklace. I'd really like one of those.
When can we start making requests to?
I'll have my people call your people. We'll figure this out.
Exactly. All right.
She had her secrets.
There's that coin we see, and we see the wizard in the upcoming release of Fisher-Price Little People holding a coin.
Remarkable.
There is no fight we cannot win.
That's the blend of their voices.
Worming.
Yes, worming together.
Why is it?
Pause. That shot. Can we? I know we've already touched on it, but the Miss Gulch of it all.
I know.
The homage, and you know, in the musical, they just run on stage with the cage. Here they're riding a bike. So clever, so clever,
so brilliant. I love how it just blends everything so beautifully between all things Oz, and getting to see the lion cub. More than a puppet, vocalized more and have more of a personality here. Again, something they can accomplish. Also, look at the curling and even the circulature in the nature behind Elphaba.
There are circles baked into almost every shot in this film that we've seen thus far, and I cannot believe it is an accident.
It's not.
Always causing some sort of commotion.
I don't cause commotions. I am one.
That's it. Love that line. And I love, it was something that they revealed recently. I think John M. Chu was talking about in the editing process, how it was a great asset having Ariana Grande involved, because she would talk about certain lines from the original stage show that were Bible. You can't cut certain things out. And these are those moments.
I agree. I love, that's one of my favorite lines in the show. And it always gets a laugh, no matter how big or small the audience, or, you know, how many times you've seen it. It catches me off guard every time. I always forget about it. And then she says it and I go, oh, it's so clever.
It's so true.
Some of us are just different.
Okay. That shot of Nesseros.
Yeah, let me see
It's
if I can.
such a pivotal moment in the musical.
Let me get it.
Here.
I'm doing this live, so yeah, okay.
So in the musical, in the Ozdas Ballroom scene, this is where Nesseros makes a hasty exit. And it really depends on the actress. But a lot of the times, the actress playing Nesseros will have a moment of first embarrassment, then anger before she heads off stage. And this is such a pivotal moment in Nesseros's character development, how she reacts in this moment, because she feels slighted by her thunder, her big night being stolen by her sister. Just the look on Marissa Bodie's face here. Oh,
that's what I was going to say. You know, regardless of, I mean, not regardless of, but in addition to the brilliance of and importance of casting a disabled wheelchair using actor for the role of Nesseros, and all of that representation matters, Marissa Bodie, even here in a 1 second clip shot, is proving her acting chops. Like the expression, we know we can feel what she's feeling. You know what she's thinking. She's one of those actors that you hear great directors and casting directors talk about, where they are chosen because even without dialogue in a line, they are emoting and they are speaking through their eyes. And Marissa Bodie has that in spades.
Exactly.
Listen to me. You can do anything.
Again, okay, you know, I love the dance. I always love the dance from the stage show. Knowing that they did new choreography for this is so, so exciting. And I can't wait for us to all learn it and be doing it. Talk about a TikTok viral craze, dance craze. If we don't all start doing that, then I don't know who we are as a nation of fans.
It's another really important moment in the show. It's one of the quietest moments in the show. Wicked the Musical is a big production musical, lots of big spectacle moments. In this moment, the only instrument used is a piano, and it's quiet. You can hear a pin drop at this part in the show because it's a moment where Glinda makes a really important choice.
Yes.
And she's given opportunities throughout the show to make choices, and she doesn't always make the right one, but in this one moment, she makes the right choice, and it pivots the entire story.
It's true. That's the moment where Glinda's character really begins to grow and evolve, and it impacts the rest and, you know, moves everything forward. Too. This moment always gets laughs in the show, because if you think about it, it's Glinda who created the image of the Wicked Witch of the West between the hat and the cape. You know, it's like kind of those things that we see as elements of a horror character. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you can audibly hear the click of the buckle that they clip on stage.
Right.
Every time that they do it. But, you know, when you play through this moment, you can see that they're like real tears here.
Yes.
Like, you play it through. Play it again, Sam.
Yes.
Wow.
So magnificent. And then again, here, it's just, this is, I mean, that look where we have the wire of the window that's actually similar, just again, evocative of, different from the sparse set on Broadway, with this silhouette of that hat and the broom and the cape. I mean, it's everything you could ask for.
This is when she steps into her power and embraces the Wicked Witch of the West. And it's iconic. And so the fact that they nailed this moment is essential. And I'm excited to see the whole thing play through when we actually see it in theaters, because we've seen this same clip since trailer 1. So I'm excited to see the whole scene, and because they're both crying, like really crying, real tears. No, there's no pretense here. This is a very emotional moment, and this could be one of the last moments of the movie. So I'm really excited to see what they do with this.
Why in the trailer? Sebastian's asking, why in the trailer are there 2 battle cries? Hey, Sebastian, thanks for watching. I'm suspecting there might be 2 battle cries. I think in Defying Gravity and in several songs throughout the entire film, they're going to be changed from how we've heard them before. I think there will be new lyrics. I think some parts will be cut out. Some songs may be expanded. There might be a reprise for a song in film that there wasn't even for on stage. And so I think there's going to be a lot of newness. And this adaptation is not taking away from the purists who are going to say, wait a minute, you changed the show, because the show will always exist and be there for us to see. And now there's going to be a new version of Wicked, the musical, on screen, which will have its own interpretation. And what a delight for us to get to hear all those things.
And, you know, all of these songs are being arranged for film. We only know of, we're all familiar with one arrangement of all of these songs. Keep your minds open and just enjoy what we get that's new.
Exactly.
I know.
November 22nd. I love this. Who just said this? Oh my God. This is from Hayden. Thanks for watching. Defying Gravity 10-minute version, please. Laughing.
Yeah.
How about a 30-minute version? I'll take it.
Yeah, just like hours. I could just sit here for hours.
Exactly.
Defying Gravity.
Very grateful. If I may humble brag for a moment, I attended the live taping of A Very Wicked Halloween, and Idina Menzel was there performing Defying Gravity. This was part of the Halloween NBC concert special that aired for the 15th anniversary of the stage production. And she performed it in order to get it perfect for the show. She performed it several times. And I was like, I would sit here the rest of my life and listen to Idina Menzel sing. It would probably be hell for her, which would be heaven for me. It was so great. I already feel that way about Cynthia. I could take as much Defying Gravity as they want to give us.
Yes, we'll take whatever you want.
That's it. You mentioned it there, that all aboard. So that's something we don't hear in the stage show. So it's another little ensemble moment. Let me see if I can I'm missing it. But anyway, what a cool character. You know what I mean? Like, to get to see him. And
Just follow the road. It's gonna lead you right to me.
I love the design of the monkeys and how they're blue, because again, that's an interesting choice. I don't know that aside from MGM's Oz that we've seen winged monkeys blue before. So while these are completely much more realistic looking, again, having them that kind of similar shade of blue is really great.
Yes, I think that was a good choice. You know, it's very recognizable. A lot of audience members, you know, it's so hard to imagine people who are unfamiliar with the story of Wicked, but there are tons of people who've never seen the musical, have never read Gregory Maguire's novels. So they are drawing in as much familiar imagery as they can of Oz that people might know. And I think this was an excellent choice.
Absolutely.
The best way to bring folks together.
I mean, just the expansive nature of that tower, how large that is, the amount of soldiers on stage. We have like 4. Here we're seeing a whole ensemble of cast come in, and it is so big and majestic. Again, it just gives you such chills to watch.
And here she has a split-second decision to make. She's surrounded, and this is that moment. I mean, it's going to be so good.
Is to give out a real good.
Oh, the levitation spell, the Grimmery.
I know. There's been some talk about that this lyric might have been rewritten, and that will be really fun to see if it's changed or similar to how it sounds in the show.
Enemy.
This wicked witch.
Don't be afraid. It's the wizard who should be afraid of me.
The wizard that there is or was is ever gone.
Yeah.
So we've seen this reaction shot of Ethan Slater as Bach before. We're also now seeing students scurrying, and we're seeing a reaction from Fiyero as well. And the way I picture this playing out is Madame Morrible is making this announcement that she makes in the Emerald City, and by magic, it is projecting to all of Oz. It is coming through at Shiz as well. So Elphaba's friends are hearing this green-skinned repulsion, this wicked witch, and they're going, and this shot is everyone going, what?
Yeah. So amazing. And again, here the phrasing, it just seems so natural and so real, like she's just living in the moment. I will take all of the looks of a witch in the sky, a green witch on a broomstick flying in the sky. I mean, every shot of that is so much giving me life. I'll just take it all.
I'm floored. I was earlier today. I remain now.
Yes. And did you see Broadway World recently just today announced and reported that via on social media, the soundtrack producer, Greg Wells, announced that the soundtrack, the official soundtrack to Wicked, is going to be released on the day the film opens, November 22nd.
I figured this was the case. People have been asking me, when do you think it's going to come out? I figured the day of, if not the week before, because there are spoilers contained in the soundtrack that perhaps they don't want out there before the movie's available to view. So this makes total sense. I had seen somebody post yesterday that it was coming out October 3rd. And I was like, there is no way.
Yeah.
So
soundtracks don't usually come out that soon.
Yeah, guys, this is just a quick PSA. Don't believe everything you see posted on these leak channels, and wait for official word, because these things change too. But so yes, we're getting the soundtrack the day the movie comes out, and IMDb dropped a rating for Wicked, rated PG.
PG, perfect. I love it, as well it should be. Okay, let's talk about some merch, shall we?
Yes, please.
You like merch?
I love. Oh, can you tell? Can you tell?
Yeah. Can you tell? Can you see our environments? Exactly. I pre-ordered these on the Target website yesterday. They are.
Okay. Can we talk about these?
Yes, they are so cute. Do you have them already?
I pre-ordered them as well. I think
I have an Oz Christmas tree, so it's. How cute are those?
These may be the first merch that I look at and go, oh.
Oh, you don't love them?
I love them. They're adorable, but they don't resemble the actors at all.
I was going to say, well, previously the only Wicked ornaments, Wicked on Broadway makes ornaments, they make some of the enamel ones, and then they also do like the pewter ones. And then there was a company that did the little musicalized versions, that there's a set of 8. I have them that are really cute. But I'm excited. I think these are cute just because, if nothing else, it's got the costumes, it's got the poses, and so I don't know. I'll take. I got it.
Take what we can get.
I'm like, all right, yeah. All right. So, I guess Hallmark. But I don't know if these are going to be sold in Hallmark stores. These might be like the versions that we see at the Target and Walmart.
That's precisely it. I think if these were Hallmark, store ornaments, they would be much more detailed.
Then we saw, Tori, you're so funny. Let's look at the OPI. We saw there's that advent calendar set that Cynthia Erivo revealed on social media earlier this week. And here is the full-size OPI nail polish set. I can't wait. I love some of the names of these are really, really great. And that's, how it is for those of us. It's like, I want the polish, but I also want the stand.
That's Me too. Me too.
I also pre-ordered some of this from a website. There's the Noble Collection. This is not yet available for pre-order, but the Noble Collection has announced and released what some of their pieces look like. We see their replica hat, wand, broom. These are all very small, like for children, though. They're not really. I'd like to see an adult size replica broom and wand, that actually is screen accurate replica.
Well, don't forget, these are just the first wave. We don't know what's going to be coming after this first wave, or, for part 2. So I think these are really cute. And I like that they have these kinds of things for kids. My daughter, being a 10-year-old, can't wait to get her hands on all this stuff.
These I love, because I love the little plush, and I love the little W embroidered in from the the logo of Wicked movie, and that
faces,
little chistery and the lion cub. I mean, they're perfect.
Perfect. Agreed.
I'd hang one on a chain around my neck. That's super fun. And the Monopoly, you texted me about this yesterday. I couldn't believe it because earlier this week on our Oz Talk, we talked about the Wicked board game that's more of a story game, role-playing game. And this is the Monopoly version. It is so beautiful. I love the gold foil and the pieces. And I looked at all the lands, and it kind of like you go throughout the whole story.
You go through the whole story, and they've updated the game rules to include these coins. So the last person who has the coins when everyone else is bankrupt is the winner.
That's cool. Yeah, and less of the paper money to deal with, right? And again, here we are dealing with how our coin's going to be involved within. And then there's a Samsung music speaker that was released too that is, I guess, also a smart home speaker and has some exclusive Wicked imagery, Wicked edition. These retail for about $299 and up. But I just love this photo that they're going to have exclusive to that release. It's so beautiful. Beautiful.
They are so stunning.
They really, really are. And so there we are. I mean, there's other things that are other clips and other things that are kind of around online and people are buzzing about. But as far as the official Wicked trailer 2, this is it, and it is magnificent. And it has, I mean, how do they just make us more excited? I mean, if we're the world's biggest fans, and I don't know how much more excited we can get aside from like turning into a hot air balloon ourselves and floating up in the sky, you know?
It's definitely exciting. It's kind of surreal because, a year ago we were looking at this as if it were, decades away. Like we had all this time, and now I cannot believe we are 2 months away. It's 78 days. And I just want to say, I'm seeing all the comments, guys. We definitely see what you're saying.
I'm seeing the comments as well.
We're not ignoring you. But in this video in particular, we're focusing on the US trailer. So
right. This is the official Wicked trailer 2. And for, there are things, obviously we live in an international world today with the internet and streaming and the rest of it. You can see things, and those are possibly for another time or for other things down the road. But then, here, Julius, yep, you got us 2 times in 1 week, flying in the air, also flying monkeys. It's so true. Thanks for watching, our friend Julius. And so, yeah, this is really great. We're gonna be back again soon with more to talk about. And as we know, Wicked is proving to be the gift that keeps on giving. And
be giving for the next year. So deep breaths, everyone. We got this.
Yeah, I'm thinking even beyond, because like I'm reviewing the new Beetlejuice tomorrow, right? But it's like we still see merch from one movie that can come out. I feel like even after the second film, I'm hoping for a third Wicked film and a franchise and the rest of it and keep going. But the merch for Wicked has started now and can continue forever, regardless of how many more movies we get. But I love that they're treating this first Wicked as Wicked, and then Wicked Part 2, which is the sequel, basically comes out next year. This is a film, not a stage version. So we're basically getting Wicked and then Wicked, the sequel, next year. And there's no reason why, let's all go see it. Like Tori and I, we've got the plan. We're going to see it several times in one day, right? And then you said one of your favorite ways to see it is how? Taking people who haven't seen it yet, getting them.
For sure. Taking people who have not seen it is a gift, because they react to things that you're so used to hearing that you don't react to anymore. And it's interesting to see what people go to. But I said this morning on my live that I'm going to see it and react in real time, but then I'm also going to watch it again and react again 6 months later, because I always love everything Oz when I see it, because I'm so emotionally attached. But I want to really give this, I want to look at this more objectively if I can. So
yes, yeah, it's very, very, very true, and you will be able to. And I think that that's going to be really, really fun. But if we all do that, if we all keep seeing it as much as possible, and it helps the box office. I want this to be the highest gross. Why not make this the highest grossing film of all time?
Let's do it.
For a musical. And then everybody will take note and make more movie musicals, and we'll get more than just 2 Wicked movies. Let's make it, I was thinking a trilogy, but let's go for 10. This cast is young. they can manage for us. All right.
Rolling.
Very good. All right, Tori, I love you. And in the meantime, please like, follow, share. I'm at Ryan J Reviews on Instagram and TikTok and everywhere. Tori is at the Oz Vlog on TikTok and Instagram and everywhere. She also has her merch store and lots more coming up. So thanks so much. It helps us out when you leave comments and when you like and share and help people learn about how strong and growing the Oz community is. So until next time, thank you all very much.
Bye, guys.